the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brother. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And I've been magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him.
We are just to the west of you, Coach, on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 20. At the 24-yard line.
Ready, 125. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Switch.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Winston from the gun on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
On play action, now Brady. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Third down. Hey, high 7. Regular. Watch the run.
On third and long, it's Brady. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
Come on. 45, 45, 45, Mike, 45. And I'm coming after you.
First down, Winston. And this one complete to Smith. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Let's go.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
45 is the money.
On 3rd down, Winston. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Buying time to his left, and that is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Only one way to describe Ronald Jones' rookie season with Tampa Bay, and that's disappointing. Drafted to be their lead runner, just 23 carries on a team that ranked 29th in the NFL in rushing.
Now Brady going to throw deep for the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun to give to Jones. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Scott Miller His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise, as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Ready? Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Toss play, Kamara. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Double time. 3 down.
Off the play fake, Winston. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's Brady, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10.
He's coming. We got double up. Let's go up. No, 66. Hey, Haywood. 380, hey. Let's go. Hey, second.
From midfield, here's Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if it was to bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
It's just me and you. 45 the mic. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Wait.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Jones. A nice little juke. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Brady. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think it was felt also by the defense.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. On 4th down, they do snap it to Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It was Eric Reed in on the stop. They go play action. Winston. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go, D. 45, 45. Trump. 45. I got you, son.
Jameis to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City, and it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Brady. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Brady not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it here on 4th. To throw, it's Brady. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Alabama.
Play action. Now it's Brady. He finds his target. It's Evans. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Hey, Zoo. 47's the mic.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brady. And this is caught by Evans. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 3rd down turns to 1st with a 5-yard pickup.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They'll run it with Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 19-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Check it, reload! Hey, Echo!
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chris Godwin, his third touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement.
Lamar Miller, 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Lamar Miller, 77 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and keep the defense off balance.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Again, it's Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Shadow. Hey, Alpha.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the penalty, it's Jones. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
He completes it to Evans. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On third down, it's Jones, and he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Jones. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Brady. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
Wait, 20. 46 to Mike. 65, 65. 63.
Now Jones. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a 1-score game. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tom Brady taking it in as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Winston steps away to his left. This is complete to Michael Thomas. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they've put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. They'll run. It's Miller. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. A first down carry now for Miller. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Winston to throw. He'll buy some time right. He's got his man on the crossing route. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Ready? Black 22. 30. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Easy, easy, easy. Banjo. Banjo, banjo.
Here's Winston. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Check 45 to Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. 45, 45. Easy. Hey, I got you. Man, I got you. Let's go.
Now Winston. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, #2, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Winston of the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
46, boy, 46. 46 to Mike. Ricky. Hey, check Mike 46. Check Mike 46. Quarterback, go. Wait. We ain't beginning to turn you up. Don't get nervous. 46 to Mike. 46 to Mike. Dude, you just warm up. Let's go.
Jameis again. Dancing to his left. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Lutz with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe one more play. And this is going to be recovered by the hand seam. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just the number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game.
Well, Lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And to the surprise of nobody that watched this game, guess who led the way in the victory? Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah, Tom Brady, who did his normal performance. And sometimes I wonder if we don't give enough credence to the performance. Because he did his job, right? He did what Brady normally does, right? I just wonder if we should be marveling a little bit more. But in this case, let's just leave it on an even keel. Tom Brady did it again.
Another winner for TB. So for the Bucs, the win is their 8th on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Head to head with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me, I am up. #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a Sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play.